Well, no, you know,
Well, that was, yeah, that's what, so I didn't know what my recommendation would be, now I don't blue, and that way down there, say, well, you don't know. Well, thank you.
it should be and everything.
What do we pay for? So that's why I slept a lot.
Well, that's what your body is from.
Yeah, like a 2 hour nap, you know, it's kind of
Yeah, but
and then you don't know what day it is, you know.
yeah, when you get there. I like.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes you can sit in that chair and
Mhm.
dead now. But again, the nurse tells me this is all good, and your body is.
Yeah, well, listen to the nurse.
Listen to the nurse.
But according to.
As I got older, I got wiser. Green beans in a kind of a casserole. And I said, I don't eat the pork chops. The very first thing was that we had, right on her hand, and she looked at me and she smiled. I said, no, let me do that. I just realized I'm over. And you know what I ate? What's going on, JJ?
Not too much. I figured it'd give me a better looking face for a change.
Cool.
How you been, man? Surviving?
Yeah. That's why I'm still alive. Like I said, I was.
Never done one, right?
That's for sure. He's back.
Morning.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing? Morning. Morning.
Commissioner?
How you doing?
Good to see you this morning.
Welcome back.
Shit, give me back.
Yeah. We missed you, Larry.
I wish I could tell you guys, but.
I won't hold it again.
Sorry. Yeah, that's what we would.
Oh, gosh, sorry to hear that.
He's okay now. Morning.
Hi, it's Nancy. Hey, it's Nancy from JPO. How are you?
Good morning.
Learn the other day from the good line guys. Apparently they're tracing the infection rate to blood types. Oh, yeah? And I'm O positive, which is one of the lowest infections.
That's good.
Must be something serious. Solicitors. Scary.
It's like old days. Except for he used to like me to sit next to me. Yeah. Did you hear me? I said, he used to like me to sit next to me.
No, it was to try to keep social distance.
If that was the case, sit over there.
We're up.
Good morning. I ask you to please rise for the opening prayer and the pledge of allegiance before we start our meeting. Dear gracious and loving God, this morning we gather with great concern for those that are in the path of Hurricane Ian. We pray for their protection of lives and property that are in track of this horrific storm. Protect those of your love and mercy. Guide us all from the many storms of life. May our faith be strengthened in times that we see little hope. We know you're the maker of all creation. May we always look towards you to renew our faith and strength. As many are suffering, let us not ask why these storms of life come our way. The question we can ask is, who can we love, serve, and help? In your word you state, the only thing that counts is faith, expressing itself as love. By displaying that love, it defeats everything trying to divide us. Lord, today we remember and honor the history of our veterans of foreign wars from its origin in 1899. It has grown to the largest group of combat veterans. These outstanding veterans continue to honor the dead by helping the living. VFW promotes patriotism and goodwill. Their generosity has provided military assistance and community service programs to their local communities. We thank you for these men and women who continue their love by helping their communities with their dedication and efforts. Father, we pray that our efforts this morning will be in accordance with your will. These things we humbly pray in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. We'll convene the Commissioners' Board meeting at this time, and we have some additions and changes to the agenda not previously posted. Record.
All right, Commissioners, we're going to remove the following actions. 9.7, vote to approve the purchase of property from the Federal Bureau of Prisons, which is a approved RMS capital budget.
Okay.
We're going to remove 9.8, vote to approve amendment to agreement with Allenwood Penitentiary, 22 budgeted item. And 9.9, vote to approve the amendment to agreement with Energy Power Partners, or EPP, which is also 2022 budgeted item.
Okay.
I'll move to change the agenda to reflect those three deletions.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Pleasure. Say aye. So that's carried 3-0, and those items will be removed from the agenda. The operations,
All right, thank you.
reports, any? Or no,
Report.
excuse me.
Yeah, we're going to,
We're going to 1.4.
correct. Seeking approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
Have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
All right, public comment on agenda items only.
Yes.
I have a question. I'm Jamie with Seed of God. I'm
Yes.
here and replace
Please come up,
Sure
since
thing.
we're online.
This is my first time. You'll have to give me
Okay.
instructions.
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Just a quick comment, for the CDBG public hearing today, there is an action item required that I do not see on the agenda. There's an action to approve submission of the 2019 budget modification certification to DCED.
Okay.
So I didn't know if we needed to add that or not to the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll move to add to the agenda the certification of the CDBG budget to CEDACOG. I mean to DCD.
Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So it's carried to add to the agenda. Okay.
Okay, any other public comment on agenda items only? None online. Moving on to reports. Rayanna,
Morning, Ray.
accounts payable, cash requirements.
Good morning, Commissioners. Presented for your ratification are the
Ray,
invoice.
could you pull the microphone down just a little bit? That works. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. presented for your ratification are the invoices due through October 5th, 2022 that were paid on September 28th, 2022 in the amount of $1,185,746.74.
Okay, is there any questions? A motion?
I'll move to approve the,
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So carried. Thank you, Rick.
that's right.
Moving on to 3.1, Jessica, personnel actions.
Morning, Jess.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Director. I am here seeking your approval on the following personnel actions. For the Adult Probation Office, Riley Nunemaker, Administrative Specialist, full-time transfer, pay grade 6, $17.47 per hour. We're anticipating her transfer date to be October 16th. And then for Department of Public Safety, Logan Ladecker for EMS full-time transfer. His salary is listed there at $46,743.16. And we're anticipating his transfer date to be the same, October 16th.
Okay, a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Any questions for the director? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried. This time we'll recess Commissioners' Public Meeting for the Salary Board. We'll convene the Salary Board this time.
Nikki on.
Nikki, you on the line? Krista? Go ahead.
Okay. All right, for salary board item, requesting your approval to reclassify the deputy director position in facilities management. It's currently a pay grade 11-12, and we are requesting to reclassify it to a pay grade 12. The position's currently in the recruitment stage, so we would be adjusting the job posting if approved.
Okay. Good. Just we'll do it with Slate.
Yeah, I'm okay with
We'll
that.
do it with Slate. Go ahead.
I think there's only, is there more?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. All right, so for the Prothonotary's office, reclassification to fully qualified for the deputy position there, it would be a 5% adjustment for her to the fully qualified status. In the courts, reclassification for their law clerk 1 position, recently passed bar exam, so we'll reclassify him to a pay grade 11. For the treasurer's office, a reclassification to fully qualified for Carrie Stein, deputy director, and that would be a 5% adjustment for her. And also in the treasurer's department, a reclassification to fully qualified for Penelope Cummings, that would be a 5% adjustment for her as well.
Okay, so these positions have met their qualifications now to be fully qualified.
Correct.
So that's why we're making the adjustments.
Correct.
And then the first one regarding the facility managements, we have not received any applications, and that's why we're.
Correct. We are not receiving any qualified applicants at the current pay that the position's posted.
Okay, can I have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Any further questions for the director? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried. And we'll adjourn the salary board this time, and we'll reconvene the Commissioners' Public Meeting.
TD actions.
Yeah, so requesting approval of the same items that we just approved under salary board, changing the deputy director position for facilities management from a pay grade 11-12 to a pay grade 12, reclassifying the deputy director in the Prothonotary's office to fully qualified, reclassifying the law clerk 1 in the courts to law clerk 2, pay grade 11, reclassifying the deputy director, both deputy directors in the treasurer's office, Carrie Stein and Penelope Cummings, both to fully qualified based on their years of service, and that would be a 5% adjustment for both of them.
Okay, have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Okay, thank you. And we'll recess Commissioners meeting at this time for the Community Development Block Grant public hearing. We convene the public hearing.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Again, I'm Jamie Schroeder. I'm with CEDACOG. I'm going to be filling in now that Kristen Moyer, the former CEDACOG representative, has moved to our Transportation Department. So today we need to talk about a proposed budget modification for the county's 2019 CDBG funds. The John Doran Municipal Building, the Montoursville Borough Building entrance removal of architectural barriers project is complete. They would like to move the remaining $13,669.16 into another removal of architectural barriers project at the restrooms at the John Doran Municipal Building. And in South Williamsport Borough, the spot slum blight removal project isn't able to move forward in a timely manner with the funding for 2019, so they want to move those funds into a curb cuts project, considering putting money into the slum and blight removal at a later date when they can move forward with that. For the action item today that will take place later in the meeting, we'll have the commissioners take action to certify that these budget modifications are approved. So there'd be a form for the director to sign for us for that. Are there any public comments on these proposed modifications? Questions? Hearing none, that's all I got.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll adjourn the public hearing at this time, and we will reconvene the Commissioners' public meeting.
All right, moving on to information items. I'm going to cover Maya's items because she's got some time-sensitive things that she's handling right now. Commissioners, we want to acknowledge that the county will be requesting bids for an emergency watershed protection project. We're going to acknowledge that the county will be requesting bids for a high-scan X-ray imaging system for the courthouse. And Jenny.
I'm here.
Morning, Jenny.
Good morning. Move this way down. All right, good morning, commissioners and everyone. On information item 7.3, so we are seeking projects to include in the county's 2022 application to the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Authority, which is PHFA, for Pennsylvania Housing Affordability and Rehabilitation Enhancement Funds, commonly known as FAIR Funds. FAIR Funds support a variety of affordable housing projects and are generated from Marcellus Shale drilling here in Lycoming County. Funds could be used for a wide variety of projects, including housing preservation and rehabilitation, rental housing creation, homeless preservation, innovative housing solutions, homeownership, housing counseling and financial education, and tax credit projects. So applications are due to the county by Friday, October 14th, and the application materials and information are available on our website, which is lyco.org/grants. So we're hoping to get a lot of good applicants this year to include in the county's application to the state. So if you know anyone who's interested, send them our way.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, commissioners, need to recess the commissioners' public meeting for the Board of Assessment revisions.
And we'll convene the Board of Assessments revisions at this time. Morning, Brooke.
Good morning, Commissioners. I am here seeking your approval and denial on some real estate exemptions. I'm going to go through the ones I'm recommending approved, and you can decide if you want to vote on those ones then, or also want to hear the denial ones too.
Okay.
So the first four properties are Old Lycoming Township, located at 130 Cottage Avenue, 1839 Fry Avenue, 1820 Fry Avenue, 1849 Merle Avenue, and all four of these are FEMA buyouts. The next one is Trinity United Methodist Church at 119 Glover Street Park. They use a parking lot for church parking. The next one is South Williamsport Fire Company, located at 521 Hastings Street. They recently purchased a parking lot right next to the fire station, and they are using that as parking for the fire company. The next one is Geisner Medical Center at 255 Route 220 Highway, and this is a hospital. The next one I have is Muncie Area Volunteer Fire Company at 932 East Penn Street. They are building a new fire station. Community options at 2331 Lynn Street is a residence for individuals with disabilities. Hope River Church of God at 325 Thompson Street is a church. Pine Run Bible Church at 1719 Pine Run Road is a church. Pine Run Bible Church at 1751 Pine Run Road, parking lot for the church. Pennsylvania College of Technology, 1113 Vine Avenue is a parking lot for the college. These are the ones I'm recommending that you approve. Do you want me to, oh wait, I'm sorry, I forgot Nipponos Township at 142 South Route 44 Highway. They are developing a park/picnic area for the public. Do you want me to continue with the denials, or?
Make a motion.
Well, yeah, well, and Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion because I do want to have some conversation about
Okay,
this.
make a motion?
Yeah,
Second, then go ahead.
well, I haven't made the motion yet.
So you said you made a motion.
No, I said I'll make a motion.
Okay. And then-
I'm going to move to approve them, but I do have some concerns.
Okay, you made a motion.
Yeah.
Second?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah,
comments?
okay.
Thank you.
So, I think it's worth noting, the way the state law is written, and listen, I love Geisinger, I love UPMC, I love all these institutions. The assessed value is $23,866,960. The loss in taxes to the county is $155,135.24.
Yes, that's correct, but they were not put on the tax rolls until May, so we didn't receive any of the benefit from the taxes this year.
Oh, so it will be taxable?
No, it was taxed this year, May forward.
Right.
So the
So it's
school,
actually the loss
school
is
only
higher.
got the benefit of it and everything. We didn't get anything of it.
We didn't get the benefit?
No.
Okay, so that's my question to you. Is the approval of the exemption, is it an approval because it's a nonprofit?
Yes.
So it's tax exempt?
Yes.
So we're never going to get that money. That's my point.
You could discuss a pilot with them.
Right. Okay, that's another issue. But I think the point I'm trying to make for the public is that we have to have some changes in the state in terms of how we require or don't require institutions which are quite profitable and make a lot of money. The healthcare industry, we saw when UPMC came in and assumed $500 million of debt on the hospital here between what they were investing. We have to reinvent the way we require institutions to pay taxes, or because we may love what they do, and we may want to support them, and this isn't to denigrate or to single out Geisinger, but it's to say that we can't run a railroad when we are using a model that was developed in 1889 for deciding which entities are nonprofits and which entities are taxable. I mean, that is a lot of tax revenue, and you're telling us it's actually only from May, right? The loss is only from May.
No,
Or
the hospital opened in May,
right,
so it goes on the tax rolls May forward.
right,
So the school district only saw the benefit of it.
right.
If they had opened January 1 of 2022, we would have seen 1 year benefit of it. But we won't see that ever.
Right. Well, we won't see it ever because also they're tax exempt, right?
Yes.
Okay, so my point is that the loss in revenue is actually greater than that, being tax exempt, right?
Your loss in revenue would be the $155,000.
Okay.
That's the annual.
I think we really, as local leaders, we really need to get our state and leaders on board that we have to relook at this. When I was in the legislature, there was a bill that said, look, if you're a nonprofit organization and you pay your top leadership 5 or 10 times median income, then you have an obligation to pay some community taxes. What would that mean? The median income in this community is $55,000. So if you're paying your top leadership 5 times would be 270,000. 10 times would be 500,000. If you can afford to pay your leaders that money, then you can afford to pay some taxes. And I think we really have to begin to have a conversation about that, because that loss of tax revenue is getting shifted to all the other folks in the community. From the family that's got, 2 people are working, to the senior citizen who's trying to live on a fixed income, to the small business that's struggling to get started. And I think we have to begin to have it, and thank you, by the way, for pointing out about the pilot. We should probably schedule meetings with a lot of these institutions and say, we need you to come to the table. Because it's getting to the point of, we love the fact that they're bringing the jobs, and that's why I'm saying I'm not singling out Geisinger. It happens to be on the list here. But the same is true of UPMC, the same is true of our other institutions. Everybody brings jobs. Rainbow Carpet creates jobs. Metzger Properties creates jobs.
Raise my taxes and I'll certainly increase my prices.
No, I mean, my point is that all businesses, create jobs. So anyway, this isn't anything new, but I think somehow we have to begin to drive a conversation about it. Because it's not the kind of thing that gets put in front of us all the time. So I'm glad that obviously they want an exemption, but I'm glad that you brought it to our attention.
Welcome. If you want the contact information, I can email that to you too also.
Yeah, I think we need to talk to them.
Okay.
Okay. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried. Now on to the denials requested.
Okay, I'm going to move on to my recommendation of denials. The next 3 properties are Pennsylvania College of Technology at 971 2nd Street, 218 Park Street, 969 2nd Street, and these are just vacant lots, and they are not being used for college purposes, and we consider them as excess ground. Was he coming from the college today?
I let him know.
I'm right here.
You're here from the college?
I am.
Okay. You have that right to come up to speak.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And why it shouldn't be denied and everything.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Morning. All right, good morning. I'm Tim Russell with Pennsylvania College Technology. These 3 parcels are currently part of a plan to expand our Clean Energy Center at Penn College that provides some workforce training throughout the state. We currently have grant submissions, and we were denied 1 grant submission, encouraged to apply through a different program. And we currently have support through federal legislation, Chamber of Commerce, Pennsylvania Chamber of Business and Industry, and an array of industry partners. So we're looking forward to moving that forward, and that looks like the space that we're going to utilize for that Clean Energy Center space.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions?
So when do you think that it's going to be functioning?
It's going to depend on funding. The initial plan that we had was to start breaking ground on that by fall of next year. So we already have some plans in place. We've done some engineering work. We've done some conceptual design work for it. But a lot of it's going to depend on funding for when we actually break ground and build on that lot.
So you understand what the reason is, that the recommendation is to deny the exemption? Because right now it's not functioning. It's just vacant land.
Right now it's currently vacant land, and we acknowledge that, but just to keep it on the radar, this is something that we are looking at utilizing moving forward. We understand the vacant land, the excess land. There are, I think, 3 or 4 other parcels in that area where we currently do pay taxes on as well for that reason, and those parcels are parcels that we're going to continue to keep vacant land. But these 3 in particular, they were purchased within the last year. There were blighted properties on them that we raised, and we redeveloped the land to just kind of be green space for now, and the future use is designed to be this Clean Energy Center at Penn College.
So Brooke, when they start the project, would they be able to appeal then?
When they
And
start
get
the
some type
process,
of
they
a
would need to
Pardon?
file another exemption.
Yeah.
And go through the exemption process.
All right. All right.
Great,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, if you try to get the grants next year and they're in place, everything's set in place to start fall, the recommendation is to file for exemption next year.
Okay, perfect.
Because the application you submitted, or your director submitted, only said green space. Nothing expanded on what you were going to do with the land and everything, but once funding's in place, the recommendation is you can file an exemption again.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
Would
And
that have
Brooke,
made a difference?
Excuse me?
Would that have made a difference if it was
No,
on?
because it's still excess ground right
Okay.
now.
All right.
It's just sitting there not being used for college purposes.
Right. Brooke,
Yes.
this land is also not being taxed very high because it's just a lot.
It's just
So we're
vacant
talking
lots.
about $273 in taxes.
I know. They
Right.
told-
No, but it's the principle. The
I know
principle, and we
that, and
appreciate
that's
that
why-
you do your job. Your job is to identify those places that are not being used by the institution that has the tax exempt status and to tell us. So we appreciate it. So for the college, it's $273. But for the taxpayers, it's $273 that should probably fairly be assessed.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. Thank you.
We appreciate
Great,
it.
thank
Thank you.
On to the next one I have is Jersey Mills Baptist Church. This 3707 Route 414 Highway. This is a parsonage. They are requesting exemption because the parsonage serves as a residence where the pastor and his family reside. 1 acre is allocated to the parsonage. The rest of the land is under the church parcel is exempt. The grounds of the parsonage is used for additional church parking when the church parking lot is not able to accommodate everyone on the peak season. If necessary, the parsonage allows the church to host the regular Sunday services in the winter months when attendance is less, which saves on utility costs. The parsonage is also used to assist in baptismal services in Pine Creek due to being closer to the creek than the church is. Being in a remote area, the parsonage is made available for lodging for guest speakers, missionaries, and musicians. The double garage of the parsonage is used to store tractor, snowplow, snowblower, and related equipment to maintain the church and parsonage properties. This is what they wrote in the letter to me that I'm reading to you. The reason being, my recommendation is to deny due to this is a parsonage. If we were to approve it, we're setting a precedence to allow other churches to file exemptions on their parsonages. Now, we do have, I'm just going to give these ones out. We have a parsonage in Jersey Shore Borough that filed an exemption in 2018, and we denied it. But we did grant them a partial exemption on the detached garage and shed in which they used to store the lawn equipment for the church. We also had a parsonage in Williamsport file for exemption in 2015 because they were planning on putting a ministry library in the parsonage, and that was denied. Now, one of them is here to speak today. Someone from the church? Jersey Mills? No? Nobody here? Okay. I will move on to the next one, which is 1435. St. Paul Cavalry United Methodist Church, 1435 Memorial Avenue. This is also a vacant lot, but in the summertime, it's used for outdoor church services, church picnics, and summer's kids club. The special services are announced in the newspaper. The service times are announced in the monthly newsletter. They applied in 2016 for the same exemption and was denied. Is there anybody from St. Paul's, if you would like to come up to speak?
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Ann Reynolds. I just have a question. What's the basis for the denial? I mean, why was it denied?
My recommendation is to deny to the commissioners. This is
Right.
only used in the summertime. It's not used continuously for church activities.
Right.
And this is the reason why it was denied in 2016 also.
Not enough use.
Excuse me.
Not enough usage of
Right.
the area. Okay, that's all I wanted to understand. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for attending.
Commissioners, I don't know if it makes a difference, but this property is actually a polling place in the Indian.
I don't have anything else. That's the last of mine. Recommendations for denials.
Okay.
So, Brooke, it's fair to say that all of the recommendations you made on approval and denial are consistent with everything the county has done in other cases?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And so, any change would be a change in the policy that we've been enforcing for decades?
It's not a policy.
Not
It's-
policy,
It's going by
practice.
the statutes and
Right.
everything.
Right, the following the statute?
Yes.
Yep, okay, thank you.
Okay. motion for the recommendations of the denials?
I'll move to approve the recommendation of the denials.
I will second.
Any further questions for Brooke?
Thank you,
All
Commissioners.
fair side?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll reconvene the Commissioners' public meeting. Moving on to action items. I'm going to go ahead and include the CDPG action item as the first one. Commissioner is seeking your approval for the submission of the FY 2019 budget modification certification to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development.
Excuse me 1 second. We're going to adjourn the Board of Election, or Board of Assessments revisions, and we'll reconvene the Commissioners' public meeting at this time. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I didn't hear Bridget. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No worries. Commissioners, I'm going to go ahead and add this action item based on what Jamie Schroeder mentioned to us that it was missing, and you guys approved that addition. So seeking your approval for the submission of the FY 2019 budget modification certification to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second the motion.
All fair side?
Aye.
Aye. So carried.
Right. Moving on to 9.2, vote to approve the extension of Nrcs Emergency Watershed Protection Cooperative Agreement. So this is just our excuse me, I think my stuff was out of order. Commissioners, we're simply extending the end date from July 28, 2022 to February 9th, 2023. This is our emergency watershed cooperative agreement. And I think this is just to get some work completed that has not been completed.
Okay, can I have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second that.
Any questions or comments?
It's about 25% of the construction cost.
Yeah,
It's gonna be-
they were waiting on state funding, so
Yeah.
hopefully they'll get it.
All fair side?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So carried.
Thank you. Seeking your approval on temporary access agreement with NRCS for the emergency watershed program grant. And this just gives temporary access to Diamond Point, the contractor, to do the work in Watershed.
The long mowers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'll move to approve.
A second.
Any comments or questions? All fair side?
Aye.
Aye. So carried.
Commissioner seeking your approval on a change order with Leche Electric for the construction of the Health and Wellness Center. This is a 22 budgeted item. there was a cost increase of $908 to provide and install 3 new fire alarm strobe devices so that they would synchronize with the rest of the building's strobe devices.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All fair side?
Aye.
Okay, seeking your approval at a no-cost change order with Turnkey, the GC for the health center. Essentially, the change order identifies some returns and ordered items, which negated any cost increase.
Yeah.
They canceled each other out.
Okay, a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Well, I'll second it.
Questions?
Yeah. So. You're saying it negated it out?
I don't think you gave it. I think it's a total of $3,741.
Yeah, that's.
Well, what you see there, but then there was also
Returns.
ceiling grid returns
Right.
that were not required because they were already installed. All they had to do was put in new ceiling panels in the common areas.
That's not reflected on this bill.
Well, it's showing returns, materials, okay, it's a little confusing by this invoice, that's the
Yes.
only reason I'm questioning. Is it 26, 34, so it is 30,
$1,100 difference.
yeah.
I'll ask them for,
$1,000 difference.
no, these things get added together.
Yes.
And so that 37.4,
It doesn't come out to
No, no.
37. Okay.
this 37.441 is negated by the cost of the ceiling grid, or in other words, not having to pay for the ceiling grid in the hallways. And so
see
it's
that number-
reflected on a
okay,
different
I see it down here, this.
change order.
Change order number 3.
Yeah.
I got it.
Oh, yeah, okay, now, then that's written.
Okay.
The small print.
I understand.
Yeah.
It is small print.
Okay.
Yeah, it says Washington. You didn't use those?
This is really tough. Just bought me glasses.
Those aren't
Okay.
the,
No.
Have a motion?
I made one.
Yes.
Maybe one
We have
second.
a motion.
Oh,
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Thanks for bearing with me on that one.
That one was confusing.
Got to read the fine print. Commissioner seeking your approval on the agreement with Integratech. Integratech is a contractor that'll be doing water treatment for the HVAC system in Lycoming, Executive Plaza and Third Street Plaza.
And this is a budget item for 2022.
Right.
Motion?
I'll move to
They
approve.
do all the maintenance.
Yep.
Yes.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So carried.
Okay, also seeking your approval on the medical assisted treatment plan subrecipient monitoring agreement with STEP in the amount of $1,167,108.
I think, Mr. Director, you had said medical assistant treatment, but it's the transportation.
Transportation.
Right. You
Yes.
were thinking of our conversation
Yes.
yesterday on MAT.
Good catch.
Yeah. I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. 9.7 through 9.11, Nancy?
Okay, good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Nancy.
Due Reservation is seeking your approval for 9.10, which is our 2022-2023 agreement. with Center County Youth Center, Center County Youth Services Bureau. It's a group home residential and independent living, and there's no rate increase for this year for this facility.
Okay, that's good. We like no rate increases. Motion?
I'll move to approve.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Pre-application is asking for approval for 9.11, which is Backon Family Life Services, specialized in-home treatment services. That's our SPIN program. There's a 3% increase from last year. It was 96.70 and it's now 99.60. And the other programs we use, there are no rate increases.
Do we have any youth in spin now?
Yes, we have one.
Okay. I'll move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye, so carried.
We're also asking your approval for 9.12, which is our George Jr. contract for 2022-2023. This is open residential and secure special needs programs. The special needs was increased by 13.715, which was a 36.46 increase per day. The intensive supervision was an increase of 12.775, which is $40.90 a day. And the other three, the regular residential, diagnostic, and drug and alcohol, there was no rate increase.
No motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second. Nancy, overall, how much is the county required to pay this invoice? What percentage?
Well, they can go a lot higher than what they do. The state, the OCYF packets, they can go a lot higher than that. And they usually do not ask for the maximum that the state allows, but I still try and get them down to something a little more manageable.
But was your question, how much does the state reimburse us on these?
Yes.
That's what I asked before. Yeah.
I'm not sure. Dave would have, like, if Dave does those reimbursements, I think it's like 60% or 80% or something for 4E. I think it's 80% for 4E.
Moving way down there.
How many do we have there?
Yeah.
I think 5. And they're all in diagnostic right now, which is the no rate increase one.
Nancy, I think that the programs that are more restrictive like this, we actually end up paying a larger percent with the state, with the government's goal of solving your problems before they get to the more restrictive, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
They're pretty high increases, although if you think about it, these are residential facilities, which means that the cost of fuel that's gone up, electricity, the food they feed these kids, plus the cost of the services.
These are individuals that have to be in these facilities.
Right.
Due to what they've done.
Yeah.
Or are being accused of doing.
Yeah. So that may be why some of these increases, you know. I'm not making excuses for them, I'm just trying to explain and understand what's going on, I think.
Yeah, they've had increases just like we have, and unfortunately, they can pass theirs off and we can't.
Okay.
I've been holding them normally at 3%, but 3% to 2% over the years, but this is the first year we've had to take the hit on a over 10% increase.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, the next two are going to be Kids Peace. The first one is for 2022-2023. You see on the front page there, they wanted 20% increases, 45.635 increase, over 27% increase. And I was like, no, we can't do that. So I got them down to 10% on 6 of the programs, and under 5% for 2 of them, and one was 5.91.
And again, the big increases came in the residential care programs.
Yeah, and this is a program we don't use a lot. I don't think we used it even at all last year. We just like to have it just in case.
Have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Motion, Sharon?
Aye.
And then the last one is 9.14, which is the 23-24 TIS-Piece contract. I did both of them, the 2 consecutive years, to try and hold down that rate increase. So for the following year, there are 5% rate increases and then no rate increases.
Okay, can I have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
A second.
All fair side?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you, Commissioners. Have a good day.
Nancy, hang on one second. I want to again thank you publicly for what you do for the county. You negotiate these contracts on behalf of the county, and you often get these agencies and facilities to lower their rates. You know, some counties just go ahead and pay the rates. You work with them and try to negotiate on behalf of the county. You save the taxpayers thousands of dollars over the years. So on behalf of the county, we want to thank you for your work.
You're welcome.
Likewise.
Okay. Director?
Okay, moving on to 9.13. I guess you're going to take that, Shannon? Approve agreement with Tidaden Valley Municipal Authority for allocation of ARPA funds.
Good morning, Commissioners. As you know, we've been working with you on allocating the ARPA funds to different organizations, and we have sent out the letters to the municipal, the public authorities and municipal entities and associations that supply water and sewer. When we sent the initial amount awarded to Tidaden Valley Municipal Authority for the purchase of their sewer vac truck, we were initially awarding them $227,500. Because of the time frame of when they submitted their application for the ARPA funds, and now, as you've just noted, all the price increases. They did see an increase in the amount of the cost of the vac truck from, it was in the $400,000 range, and it's now just over $500,000. So what they're requesting is a $22,500 increase in the amount to $250,000, and they are, since we've already awarded, sent the letter and are in the process of awarding the grant funds to all of those entities, initially they've also requested if they can do a contract as soon as possible, because if they don't sign their agreement with the co-stars for the purchase of the vac truck, I think it's by the end of next week, they'll see an additional $50,000 increase in the cost of the vac truck. So we have gotten a template. It's gone through our solicitor, and we're in the process working with CEDACOG, who is helping us with some of the administration. I believe we have a final draft of that document. We'll be getting that out to TVMA to sign, so that as once you approve it today, we can get that signed and get that back to them.
So the 250 is consistent with what we gave to the other sewer authorities?
For the most part, they we were giving sewer water or associations that supply sewer and water initial allocation up to 250, depending upon their project. Some of them, like initially TVMA, only needed, for 50% of the cost was $227,500. Unfortunately, as we're seeing with almost anything that's being purchased, it's going up. So that's why we wanted to expedite this one. We're meeting with all of the others that are receiving award letters because, and we'll talk about this next week, there will be a competitive round following this. This is to take care of some of the initial asks.
The majority, the overwhelming majority of sewer and water companies got 250.
Right.
So what we're doing is consistent with what we did with the others. They just
Right.
happened, unfortunately, to submit for an amount that was smaller. So we're
Right.
trying to be fair and equitable.
Right.
So to refresh everyone's memory, or to educate the ones that aren't familiar with it, the county received $22 million in ARPA funds. And as we've been working for the past 18 months on this project, we have decided to allocate $5 million of those $22 million towards the water and sewer entities. The county received $54 million worth of requests, $55 million worth of requests from outside agencies. Of those $22 million, so we're allocating 5. We identified 12 water and sewer entities. We allocated $250,000 towards those, and that came up to 3.1 million, I believe.
It's a little bit more, plus or minus a few thousand here and there, yeah.
And we still have about 1.9, give or take a couple thousand for the second round that we're going to open.
Right, and we should, we're working on that paperwork right now for the second round, so that'll be, so we have to get these first done, and then we'll get that out, so.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you gentlemen are here for that? No, still, okay.
Okay.
Just want to make sure.
All right, great.
So as soon as we get that signed by Sean Morrison, who is the manager for TVMA, we'll get that back in here so they can have a signed award as soon as you approve.
I'll move to approve it.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So carried. Thank you.
Thank you, and we'll be here next week to talk all about the levy, and we'll also have just our overall general budget for the ARPA for as an informational item.
Yep. Great, thank you.
Thanks.
And moving on to 9.14, Forest Agreement with Election IQ.
Morning.
Forrest.
This is a contract with Election IQ. We had an agreement with them a few years ago. This follow-up contract would be for them to be able to continue to provide expert reviews, advice, recommendations about accessibility requirements at our polling places as we move through that process of reviewing them for compliance with ADA and the county's negotiations with the Department of Justice.
Okay, a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Any questions for Director? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Forrest.
Commissioner comment?
I have one today. On the national level, we see the southern border continue to be open. And people think this doesn't affect me. I live in Pennsylvania. It affects us in so many ways. Let me give you an example. Yesterday we met with Shay Madden of West Branch regarding an opioid settlement. And our county will be receiving about $4 million in that settlement going forward for prevention and treatment. 100,000 people last year died from opioid. 100,000 people. Think of a plane of 300 people per day. 747, 300 people in that plane. And it crashing every day. No survivors. Every single day for a year. They would close the airlines down in a heartbeat and investigate what was going on with the airlines. Why are these planes crashing? 300 people per day are dying in this country from these drugs coming in across that border and they come up through Pennsylvania. We talked to West Branch. Our county is no different than any other county in this country. It's in your neighborhoods and it's killing people. There's 2 drug cartels right now that are putting it in their candies and they're doing news releases on that to get more and more kids hooked. It's dangerous as we get more and more people getting hooked on this poison, and nothing's being done at the border, as these cartels continue to push it across through smugglers, along with the other problems they bring, human trafficking, all the other issues they're bringing. So we cannot continue to put our head in the sand. We have to cry out to our legislators, our state and federal officials to put pressure on getting that border closed the proper way so that the people that want to come in legally can do so without repercussions, do it the right way, so it's not open for convenience for these people that want to poison our communities. Think about that. 300 people per day are dying in this country. You can't ignore that. Any other commissioner comments?
Just like to add that Shay said that many of the opioids are on pills coming in. Well, they're not coming in. These kids are ordering it on mail, which I wasn't totally sure how that was done, but it's unbelievable what these kids are doing to destroy their lives. Another issue, I just call it a rain tax, okay, but impervious soil and whatnot. And we talked about Penn College and the hospitals, but I mean, my rain tax there just at my building is going to cost about $100 and some dollars a month, which is almost what I pay in taxes. You know, it's ludicrous. I saw where the Supreme Court justices said that the agencies, the bureaucrats that were appointed and developed are going to have to start answering to our legislators, finally, that they cannot usurp the power of our legislators. And Commissioner Marabito, you will remember this because we sat in this room right here when you were the state rep. We talked about the knee curve to the Chesapeake Bay. And one of the issues that I brought up on many occasions is the fact that how do you charge us, and I'll say us as a community here, how do you charge us without having a cost-benefit ratio, something, you know, presented, something studied? And there was no answer. You know, we have streams that are high quality. Our river, we've done many things with our treatment plants. I mean, we're pretty well positioned. Okay, but yet they paint us with a broad stroke of the brush. And I can't even imagine. I remember the first conversation that we had over to City Hall where they were trying to implement some type of way of charging. And the college and the hospital were well over $250,000 for stormwater, right? And the unfortunate thing is in Williamsport, for example, it's a combined system. It goes into the sewer treatment plant. And this is only going to get more and more expensive. This is just the first phase. And it's time that these agencies put up some data, because it is not a joke anymore when you get charged more for storm water than you're getting charged for taxes. That's no joke. This is going to be difficult on small businesses and the consumers that they pass the price on to. So, and one of my, I don't want to say it was a solution, but if we're cleaning up our water here and we're sending it down to the most polluted areas, it makes no sense. We absolutely need clean water. There's no one denying that. And there is a price to pay for that. But let's do it, you know, and use a little bit of common sense. You know, charge me half as much and send it down to where they're polluting to find the solutions for that. You understand? We'll get to our end goal quicker. But I certainly hope that our legislators take a look. We're getting a lot of calls on this issue, a tremendous amount of calls. So, again, you'll hear me plead, asking your elected officials to help us out as a county and change some of the things that need corrected.
No comment?
No comment. I want to thank all the folks who came today, though.
Public comment? Director?
I have one online, MCG. I support the idea of re-examining the tax exemption of medical nonprofit organizations because the federal government already taxes the business operations of nonprofits, and so should our county.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Come on, Scott.
Public comment now?
Yes, please. Step up to the podium. Morning.
Good morning. Scott Miller, 822 Tucker Street, Williamsport. My property taxes to the county, $306.27 a year. If I come up with a way that I can save the county thousands, possibly millions of dollars, can I get a finder's fee, $306.27 a year?
No.
They're talking about a reassessment needing to be done. I think the figure I saw was like $2.4 million to do. I know an easier way that we can figure out which properties went up in value since the last assessment. When Rick bought his house out in Hepburn, how much did he pay for it? Why do we gotta send an assessor out if he paid whatever, $100,000 for a house that had previously been assessed at $50,000? It has to be worth at least $100,000. I bet you his bank backs up that amount. So all these reassessments, I can see businesses that have been around, that have been around for some time. I mean, it's been nearly 20 years, okay, let's look at them. But I worry about the elderly people on the fixed incomes that have been in their houses for 50 years. And all of y'all have knocked on doors, so you know exactly the kind of people I'm talking about. That little bit, I've known some elderly people here in town that own their houses in their 80s and 90s now, and they get $700 a month on Social Security. And I don't think those that can justifiably say, I paid this much for my house. I bought my house after the last reassessment in 2004. I bought in 2005. I paid $52,500 for it. It's assessed at $48,000. Okay, there's no way I can't say it wasn't worth $52,500. And it may not be that much in the big picture, but how many residential owner-occupied primary residences are there in the county that wouldn't have to have a whole reassessment done? And I don't know how much it costs for the county to assess a property, but if it's going to cost us $2.4 million, it'd be nice if those very few been there 40, 50-year people didn't have to bear the brunt of it. Let the rental properties, let the businesses bear the brunt of that. Thank you. And I have a suggestion for you about the rainwater thing. I lived over in Holland. Their parking lots, they use like a mesh concrete and steel thing, and so it absorbs the water because they're all on sand. And if they don't, they can't just pour it off. Does that become permeable then and lower your rain tax?
Thank you, Scott. Any other public comment? No? Morning, Tom.
Morning.
Tom Adams, Williamsport. How's everybody? It's a good point you made, Rick, with some of the big hospitals, because they are backed by big pharma, and they're raking in billions of dollars, and find a way to work with them to get some assessment going on. I think it makes some sense. But one of your ideas is if they're able to pay some of their top executives, a certain amount. And I don't like to see government get involved with what people are being paid, but if they can afford certain amounts to some of their top people, they should be able to afford. But just get that conversation going. It's a good idea. Also, with the rain tax, that seems like it's something with the environmental movement. I think the ground is a great filter for water, and then what a gentleman just brought up with the mesh system. There's a lot of other ways to take care of the rainwater, and I don't know about a rain tax if there's just taking that money and what they're doing with it. If we don't have any control over it, it's not a good idea. We know with the whole global warming nonsense, it's costing us jobs, it's costing us a lot of things, and it's driving us into a world government, and it's all based on lies and fallacies that just cannot be backed up with science. And this kind of stuff is just wicked. And when a country turns its back on God, this is where we head. Just like when Commissioner Scott brought up with the border, we have this lawlessness, and we have people running and in our government that will not uphold the law. We have an attorney general that's running for governor, and he'd be a disaster for a governor in this state because he could care less about what's going on in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh and any other area. He wants this lawlessness to continue because it gains more control and power for these people. Same with the fellow running for Senate, Fetterman. He's just out to lunch too. It's sad he had the stroke, but even without the stroke, his ideas are horrible, and won't make Pennsylvania any safer or the rest of the country because he'll be a senator, and some of his ideas will make it worse for the nation, not just our state. Also, I'd like to encourage everyone can get out tonight to the Genetti at 6:30 tonight. He's going to be showing the film 2,000 Mules. It's about how technology was used and is used to get people to steal votes or flood ballot boxes, the drop boxes and stuff. It's very eye-opening. And that's just one film. It's by Dinesh D'Souza, a very well-known man of integrity. Not just him, but these people really care about the country. It's not about partisanship. It's about what's being done, what has been done. And I know there's another film called Election Integrity, and just a lot of different things like that. But I encourage you to come out just to take a look at it, get the idea. If you don't agree with it, you don't agree with it. At least see the information that's out there, because I think it's really worth looking at if you really care about country and what's decent. But we really need to turn ourselves, not just in lip service, back to God that brought this country its birth because of dedicated people and the Christian values. We really need to be serious about it because that's our only hope. Thanks.
Thank you, Tom. Any other public comment at this time? Okay, hearing none, we will be adjourned till October 6th, our next meeting, right here in this room. Thank you.
Mr. Commissioners, can we indulge you for a few minutes?
Yeah. Hey, take care. Yeah, you too. Good seeing you.